and welcome to the Seated Podcast with Furniture Row. I'm Jessa, Creative Director and Design Extraordinaire.
And I'm Barb, Interior Designer and Buyer.
Welcome back. We're getting into a really controversial topic today, Barb.
It's so controversial.
I think so. And you know what it is? It's rugs.
Rugs.
If you haven't guessed from our set today, which if you're listening, we just have a bunch of rugs samples on set, but they're nicely woven into the design. I think you did a good job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not like who dumped all those there. Anyway, why are rugs even controversial? You know, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, it's do you use a rug or not?
Yeah, how? You know, and what's the right kind and how to shop for rugs.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs to divide up their space in their home. Rugs are great for that. And it's really hard to know when you're sifting through thousands what is the best to buy. So we're going to give you a little guide here.
Yeah.
It's
just hard when there's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like rugs galore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it can really bring a room together. That's the point.
It's like a piece of art.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Art everywhere, on the floor, on the walls. I love it. Well, first, I'm going to go through a little bit of fact or fiction with you.
Oh.
About rugs, because
yes or no?
Let's just have some fun. This is a new topic, new little fun game that we can play. So, all right. The largest area rug ever made covers more than 100 football fields and is displayed in the Palace of Versailles in France. True or false? Fact or fiction?
Is it on the wall or on the floor?
That's not disclosed.
Oh, I'm going to say fiction.
That is fiction. Yep.
Okay.
While the Palace of Versailles displays remarkable rugs, there is none of that size that exists.
I mean, 100 football fields is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, challenge is out there now for anybody because there's not one that exists. So if you want to try to make that happen, it's a record that has been uncaptured. The next one is the oldest rug is still in existence and was discovered over 2,500 years ago in a frozen Siberian tomb.
Fiction.
Now that one's fact.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the Pazyryk carpet. Maybe our producer can correct me at some point, but
where is it now?
It's remarkably well preserved and showcases detailed craftsmanship. So
I want to see a picture of that.
I'm thinking it's probably in Siberia still. Yes. Oh, it's in the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia, which makes sense if it was found in Siberia. So that's cool. Of where? Pazyryk rug. Okay. You know, I wasn't horribly far off, but Pazyryk, if anybody wants to look it up. The tufted rug industry in the United States began when New England sea captains brought the patterned rugs from China to Massachusetts in the early 1800s.
No, I want to say that's false.
Yeah, just
is
historically.
It false?
It is false.
Okay.
It's fiction.
Yeah.
The tufted rug industry actually began in Dalton, Georgia.
Yeah.
In the early 1900s. Stemming from a local woman's innovation. So
a lot of rugs are made in Georgia.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where a lot of carpets made.
Yeah. They've got a long history with it then. The first area rugs were woven from gold threads and used exclusively by Roman emperors.
I'm going to say true.
That's false.
Oh.
The first area rugs were made out of more common materials and available out of what was available. So like animal skins, natural fibers, wool. Yeah.
So maybe were they used more for a purpose, like not necessarily decorating?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're cold and they need a rug.
Or they don't want things to be so dusty.
Yeah.
You know, they want to.
In the desert.
Yeah. Sounds nice.
Not that was in the desert.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. Some ancient cultures valued rugs so highly that they used them as currency to barter for goods and services.
True.
That is true. People bartered intricate hand-woven rugs in exchange for goods and services, making them a form of soft money in historical economies.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Facebook Marketplace is kind of the same today. We're bartering soft goods. Sometimes you trade.
You do instead of paying for it?
People will ask, would you take a trade? So there's a lot of bartering out there. Ancient Egyptians believed that stepping on a rug before noon brought bad luck for the rest of the day.
No.
That is fiction. Our producer made that one up. So, yeah. So anyway, that leads us a little bit more. It was just a fun way to lead us into the rug conversation. And yeah, we're going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes made when it comes to incorporating them into your home. Basically, anything these decorating sense ladies do the opposite is what I've learned, because these...
I used to watch this show. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are a menace together. They are painting the floor
oh, wow.
with paint to look like a rug. There they are in their matching overalls. And it's
a perfectly beautiful wood floor.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know
paint over it.
How you would refinish that. I don't think it'd be very easy to refinish that floor, get that away. Oh, and then they're putting decals. At first I was like, who knows? Maybe they could make it work.
I've seen a painted wood floor that looks great. I mean, a really cool design, but not what they're doing. That's scary.
It looks
especially
like
with the fake tassels.
With the black diamonds, it looks like the Flintstones. Yeah. So
what is she doing here?
So this is actually less bad.
Oh, wow.
But she's putting in a fake sconce now. Anyway, the floor was not good.
I wonder if anyone will ever look back on any of our designs and be like, what were they thinking?
I always think about that. But I think that this video has surfaced recently because it gives everybody a good chuckle. So if there is something that people make fun of in the future, just enjoy that you gave them the laugh.
Yeah.
And that you're not you're not making that bad of a mistake. That's what I know.
I try to do things a little bit more classic, but who knows? I mean, years and years from now, somebody might be having a show talking about it.
Yeah, talking about what we did. So anyway, if you don't want to paint a rug on your floor, I know that some people do like that painted floor rug. Apparently, it's an antique thing that was done at some point, but it's not for everyone, and it's not always done well. I don't know what it's called. The practice of painting the rug on your floor.
It's called a mistake.
To me, it's like the permanent makeup of rugs. Yeah. And it's just, it could be done well, maybe, but in a lot of cases, maybe not so much also. Yeah.
I do love, an old farmhouse with a porch paint on it. I do love that.
What's porch paint?
Just porch paint for your porch.
You paint the whole porch the same color?
Oh, sure. You could do the same
different.
Color. You could do a pattern,
that's
not like this,
for
but
painted wood.
Yeah, but there's something very nice about that.
Crafty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if you are going to buy an actual rug, though, where do you start? Like if you're just at the very beginning, say you already have a whole living room set up and it just needs to be tied together with a rug, how do you make a decision on what style and color to bring in?
Well, that's a good question. So you already have all of your furniture. Do you have art in the room? everything?
Yeah, you
Okay.
have art.
So what I would do is find out, look through magazines, look online, look at the styles that really speak to you, whether that's more traditional or transitional, contemporary, modern, whatever that is, maybe minimalist.
Yeah.
And then go after that type of style that speaks to you most, and then pull colors from your room and find a rug that works within those colors.
Yeah.
And that's a easy paint by number. Same with if you do it the opposite. If you have nothing in the room and you're like, I don't know where to start. I know I do want a rug, but I have no clue what color palette to use. A rug is a great jumping off point to start with. And you just pull colors from the rug. That's very paint by numbers, but it will look good at the end if you do it that way.
Yeah. So in the end, you just kind of choose where you want the direction of that room to really veer to, and you choose a rug accordingly. And you try to tie together the colors that are already there, or you bring in colors that match the rug if you don't have anything in the room. So
the other thing too is I have found I love pattern rugs. Okay. A lot of pattern, but then it's like, do you want to live with all that pattern?
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself that question. And maybe, if you're really on the fence about a few rugs, maybe you bring a few home and then look at them in your space, and whichever one looks best, you take the other ones back. I'm not saying keep them in your home for months on end. That's not it. But just look at which ones work better for your space. Right. I find I'm always going towards the more pattern, colorful. But then when I get it in my home, I tend to go more subdued.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, because when you're shopping, that's what jumps out at you, the more pattern, colorful. But I've been in the same boat, and I think looking at the up close photos of the rug, I wouldn't buy a rug unless I could really zoom in on that pattern, because a lot of times from afar, the pattern looks different. And when you start unrolling it in your home, it presents different than you expect. So just like zoom in, make sure you know what you're getting. From afar, it probably still will look like it does in the zoomed out photo, but it's helpful to zoom in. And I think that just maybe taking a photo, like usually I'll put a screenshot from my computer if I'm shopping online, or a photo from the store if I'm shopping in a store, kind of in context of my space. So I'll take a photo of my space and then put that photo of the rug and kind of collage it. Yeah. And there's you can either put them right next to each other on your phone or in Canva or something like that.
That's an easy way to look at it.
To kind of see does this really go here? Is it going to really kind of mess up the vibe in some way or another? So I think being able to visualize the rug in your space, or there's a lot of new visualize it in your space features.
Yeah, that's really helpful. And then if you do want to go into the store, you could bring maybe a pillow from your sofa or chair, or if it's a rug for a bedroom, maybe you bring your bed covering, or something from that room to look at it in the store.
Definitely bringing a photo, because that's
helps,
key. It's hard to just imagine your room and remember every little detail. And it is really helpful to have a photo, because maybe there's a piece of art that you're not really thinking of that you could and it's prominent enough that you could pull a color out of and use the rug for that purpose. I think that's definitely a good place to start. I want to make sure everybody's on board with some of the rug speak, the definitions,
the rug terminology.
Rug terminology. So that way things are less confusing. But basically, the knot of a rug is basically the basic, the knot of fabric.
Yeah, like this rug here.
Right.
I don't know. Can you see that?
Structural unit of the rug is the knot, whether it's a shag carpet or it's, more of a low pile rug. Pile is the surface area of the rug formed by the ends of the knots, technically, but it's the height for me.
And some people call it the pile, like the pile of the rug.
Yeah, how thin or thick is the rug, is the pile. Yeah. A rug pad is designed to be used under rugs on both hard surfaces and carpets, and it will reduce wear and tear, help absorb impact, and make vacuuming easier. So,
do you use a rug grip or rug pad under yours?
It's just like, it's too extra for me, but I think it would it would increase the. Yeah. I'm not debating the value of a rug pad, but I'm lazy and cheap. So,
I did have a rug pad under one of my rugs once. Mm-hmm. And then once I got rid of that rug, I never used another rug pad. Maybe I need to revisit that. Maybe they're better nowadays than they used to be.
Yeah, I don't know what in the technology could have gotten better, but somehow I'm thinking, like, if your house got really hot, would a rug pad stick to the floor and get stuck there?
I don't know. I would be afraid of that.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully it wouldn't do that.
I think it would preserve your hardwood floors better if it didn't stick to them. So maybe that's something for our producer to look up. Does the rug pad leave debris if it's a cheap one or it's old?
Well, I know, like, when I vacuumed that rug, and then when I removed the rug and the rug pad was there, it had collected dirt. So you really need to, like, when you're really vacuuming, just roll up the rug, vacuum underneath, and then vacuum the rug too.
Yeah. I mean, it will also help, especially if you have kids, to keep the rug in place. Sure. Like, they're not going to, usually rugs have some little grip underneath, but if they don't, your kid isn't going to go sliding when they hit the rug. All right. We got an answer on the rug pad. Yeah, I don't know. But basically what she said was rug pads can break down in 1 to 3 years and quicker if they are cheaper, and they can definitely leave residue and ruin your floors. So if they're cheap, particularly. So you don't want to get the cheap rug pad. Yeah. The quality really matters, and you should be replacing it. Otherwise, you can end up with a mess on your floor to have to refurbish. So
not good.
Not for me.
Wood floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Especially,
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe if you have kids, look for a rug with a built-in backing that's of quality. It would be my recommendation, but or a quality rug pad, and make sure you just switch it out. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to slip, but nobody wants ruined floors. And then knot count is a big deal because it's the number of knots per square inch or square decimeter. And it usually, but not always, means better quality and higher price. If it's a higher knot count, it's a higher price. Tracking is like what the imprints of your feet that are left behind. But it's not permanent. It's just, it's just some rugs there's tracking. So
I was going to tell you when you were talking about knot count, some of the higher end rugs that have the higher knot count, if you flip them over, they are just as beautiful on the back side as they are on the front side. Oh, I love looking at really nice rugs for that reason.
That's so cool.
But also you could even design a room with it, on the opposite side. You could put that on the opposite side and then sometimes put it on the other side. Yeah. That's a little trick that designers do from time to time.
That is really interesting. You have an example of a high-end rug, don't you? Here. Let's show it.
This rug here, it's a pretty great rug. It's not as high of a knot count as what we were talking about, but it is pretty nice. And it shows, this is the back side of the rug. Very beautiful on this side. And then if you flip it over to this side. Yeah. Can you all see that? I mean, it's so beautiful, both sides.
Both sides look just as beautiful, to be honest. It's just one is a little bit lighter and more of like not a jute, but it looks like a rougher material, it's nice.
It's really beautiful.
It's, do you want the soft side of the rug or the rougher side of the rug? And I think, you could go either way.
Change it up.
Yeah, you could change it up. I because you can really see the rougher side. So that's kind of nice. So yeah, I kind of want to, now that we've gotten some just basics out of the way, I really wanted to get an expert's opinion. And I know you are an expert, but I talked to a rug buyer just so we could get her take on like what to consider when you're buying a rug and what to look for. Cause I have no idea on anything. And like,
what does she have to say?
So I asked her what are the elements of a quality rug and how do you tell if a rug is good quality when you're shopping? I know we already talked about the knot count, but that's not all that matters. Like she said to look into whether it's natural or synthetic in material and the way the fibers have been dyed, as well as the knot density. Some of the more inexpensive rugs are very thin and you can feel the backing, even when, you know, you're just walking on them. So that's something that's a quality of a low quality rug. And higher quality rugs produce more fibers per square inch, which gives them a more plush feel underfoot. So it's going to be plusher, even in low pile rugs. So, and when she mentioned how rugs are dyed, solution dyed is often praised as the ultimate performance. And it's extremely resistant to fading and staining. So solution dyed, higher knot count or point count, it's also called. And then, you know, natural fibers like wool, jute, cotton, and bamboo are really good quality. Silk would probably be like creme de la creme. Like that is where your expensive rugs come in.
Have you ever seen a silk rug in person? They are amazing.
The artisan quality is just crazy.
It's beautiful and it feels so soft.
Yeah. And the hand woven rugs are obviously going to be like really high end because they are, you know, just the time that it takes and the labor. Obviously, so hand woven, high material or high quality material like silk rugs are going to be really a lot more expensive. They can get up there for sure.
Yeah, a hand knotted rug can be all sorts of price points. You'd be surprised, and even an antique rug that's a hand knot could be worth a fortune. Just depends on the rug.
Yeah, Haley, what is the most expensive rug in the world? I'm curious now. Like what are we talking about when we're talking about like really expensive rugs? It's just entertaining. Not that I'm going to buy one, but antique Persian rugs sold at Sotheby's auction in 2013. Yeah. $33.7 million.
What size was it?
It doesn't say, but
does it show a picture?
It's insane.
Okay.
Okay.
But then it says previous records as the Kerman base rug, which sold for $9.6 million in 2013.
Okay, the previous one before that was $9.6 million. But I've seen
that's a lot of money.
It is. I've seen rugs in showrooms that are like $20,000 or $30,000 and thought like
$100,000. And you know what? I mean, people buy them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're heirloom rugs. You can pass them down.
That's
it's like a piece of art. You know, it's an heirloom.
It really is a piece of art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would suggest, let me just say, buying a hand knot antique rug, you could go into a resale shop. You never know what you might find there. You could find an antique, very valuable rug in a resale shop or
in like a thrift store.
At a thrift store.
Sometimes you really find some treasures there.
That's right.
So
don't be afraid to like buy a used rug.
Yeah. 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 So, so she was saying as far as like high quality wool tends to be the more expensive, being a natural fiber, and has great stain resistant properties and cleanability.
Did she say anything about like the type of wool, like a New Zealand wool or anything like that?
She didn't mention which type of wool, but Maybe that's another good Haley question. Which type of wool
Haley.
is the most high end or the best, considered the best? And then hand woven, yeah, like I said, is going to be more expensive because of the knowledge, skill, and time. Persian wool used in Persian carpets is like the highest. And, but I mean, there's a lot of great wools out there. So, you know, maybe it's about the company that's selling the rug. And usually if you find a really good company, they'll talk about their wool quality and where it's from, I would think.
I wonder if the sheep are just as expensive.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, think of all the things that the sheep can do. It's just, you know, they have the wool. You can make cheese.
Can they really make cheese? I don't think
They don't make cheese.
Yeah,
but
I don't
you
think
can make cheese if you have a sheep, if you're so inclined.
Oh, goodness.
So anyway, we digress. But yeah, so I asked Diane
Yes.
also, what are some of the things to stay away from when buying an area rug? And she said, choosing a rug that is too high maintenance for the room that it's in would be bad. So it's kind of like user
What's your
error.
tolerance?
Yeah. It like
for high maintenance.
For example, if you're looking to add a rug in a dining room, don't choose a shag rug or something that has a really high pile that's really thick, because breakfast crumbs are going to get trapped in there and it's going to be really hard to clean. I don't even know if they make rug rakes. You don't know what the efficient way to clean like a shag rug would be, but it sounds like it would be really high maintenance. And
I think they used, like when they had shag carpet way back when, I think there were rakes that they
and
used
there's
to rake.
vacuum settings particularly for really high pile shag carpets, because the suction has to be higher. And if you don't set it to the right level,
things are going to grow in there.
I just remember us having like a longer pile rug, and the vacuum started to smell really bad. Like it was like breaking down because it just the motor couldn't handle what I was trying to get it to do, which was just vacuum the rug. And so you really have to take those things into consideration. Also, like, you know, don't have a really high, long fiber rug if you have motion furniture that is going to sit on top of it, because it can get caught in some of those mechanisms.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know why that makes me laugh so much, but it just really does.
Couldn't open up the recliner.
Yeah,
so
you could really
caught on the rug.
Yeah, you can break the motor, or even wool, since wool will shed a little. Debris can get into the motor and just really junk it up. So a polyester, like a performance polyester or propylene rug, is a great option for a dining room because of the cleanability
you
for
can
any
just hose it
spills
off.
and messes. Yeah.
But see, let me tell you, I am not afraid of wool though.
Okay. Because it does shed.
It does, but it's a natural resistant fabric of dirt and debris and things like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't shy away from a wool rug personally.
Right. I have a wool rug, and it's not like shedding crazily all the time, you know, just tufts of wool everywhere. It's more like, you want to vacuum it, and you might get some debris when you vacuum it. Yeah. Or like, with the carpet cleaner, if you clean it with the carpet cleaner, you're going to get some debris, but it's not like, you know, the rug is shedding all over the house and it becomes a huge mess or anything like that. But yeah, wool is great because
I love a good wool rug.
It stays clean. And then just again, other than the wool or jute or cotton or bamboo, synthetic fibers can also be really good for rugs, like nylon, polyester, propylene, acrylic, and viscose. Yeah. So,
Well, viscose too can look
Yeah.
like a silk rug.
yeah.
If you have a viscose rug. And a lot of times they'll mix like this one in the front. I think there's some viscose in that,
Okay.
mixing it with a different fiber. So it gives a really neat sheen to the rug.
Will you hold that up?
Sure. Let me try to get this.
Because,
I think this has a little bit of viscose here.
yeah, and you can kind of
Yes.
see like the outlines of the florals are viscose, and so it's shiny.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It's got a sheen that stands out. That is pretty.
I'd put this in my house.
Yeah.
It's nice and light.
Yeah.
Soft
It's got some color,
pattern.
but not too much.
Just going to throw that down on the floor.
And then I asked if you could get an affordable, good quality rug.
Sure.
Yeah. And the buyer also agreed. She said, machine made rugs are produced with synthetic materials and are the most affordable option because they're mass produced more quickly, but
Yeah.
they're, of course, can still be great quality. And there's just such an array of different types of fibers and construction types available you can sift through. So there's really something of quality to meet any budget.
Absolutely. So much more than what we used to have.
Yeah.
And sizes and shapes. I mean, the rug industry is amazing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe you do want a little bit of higher quality material, but you don't want to spend a fortune. So maybe you opt for a smaller rug and that can still definitely fit well within your room.
Yeah.
And we'll show you how.
Yeah. And you could even layer. Like
Yeah.
if you want the smaller rug, but you need a larger rug, you could
Yeah.
layer the two, like a large rug and a small.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true to make it bigger. Like maybe the top one is really high quality and the lower one's machine made or
Yeah.
something.
Or maybe the top one's like a hand knot.
Yeah.
And then you have it on top of a machine made. Why not? I mean, I've seen high, low. What you
Yeah.
can do that. It
Yeah.
looks great.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to extend your budget that way. But it really does ground the space and make a huge difference in the room. So I think it's definitely a worth it place to
Yeah.
spend money because you'll keep it for a while. Especially if it's of quality, it'll last
Sure.
a lot longer.
And you can move it throughout your home too.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Like even if you rent, like maybe in a dining room, you have a rug that when you move to your next house, you put it in the living room or, you know, it'll
Absolutely.
work in different rooms
Yes.
potentially. So it could really have longevity there. And then it has a story. So I guess on that topic, because, you know, you might keep a rug for a long time and it goes from room to room, are washable rugs worth it?
Yeah. You know what? I love a washable rug in a dining room. I love it in a kid's room or a kid's playroom.
Yeah.
In a kitchen, like if you do a runner in front of the sink between, you know, your sink and the island or stove, whichever. And in an entranceway. And now they're inexpensive. So you could literally have a few of them that you change out per season.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They're not that expensive, especially the ones on our website
Yeah.
are not expensive at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
There's
cool.
other higher price point washable rugs,
Yeah.
but you know, ours are
They don't
really-
have to be.
No.
Well, do we have an example of one?
We do. Where is my
I remember seeing one and it was so soft. Oh, I think it's over there. It's the one
Haley, do you
closest
have that?
to you, Haley.
Yeah,
It's
and this
got,
is
like,
just
triangles.
one pattern that
Yeah.
we have, and these colors are so great to work with too. That's on this particular rug.
Yeah, but from afar,
Thank you.
it looks really like a nice pattern
Yeah,
and it's extremely soft when you touch it.
it is. And the the back of this, yeah, this is a great rug.
Yeah, what does the back look like if it's washable? Okay.
The back, it's kind of like a rubbery back.
but not
so-
overly. It's not like coated in rubber. It's you can still see the weave.
You can see the weave, but it definitely has some grip to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is great. I mean, these are awesome for entranceways.
Yep.
Yeah. Change with the season.
Right. Cool. Yeah. And I guess also, aside from having to throw it in the washing machine, spills will actually bead up and can be wiped right off. So that's kind of nice.
I'm big on throwing them on the driveway and just washing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's look
Spraying
at some
them.
layouts. Just on the driveway and washing
Yeah,
them.
just why not? Hose it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to hear more about that little, what you just shared. But we should talk about, how do you place a rug in a living room, for example? Like, what are things you should consider? Where should you put it? If you have a sofa and a coffee table, let's say.
Chairs. I don't have any issue with like the back legs of the chair being off the rug. That doesn't bother me. It is nice when if you have the space to do an oversized rug and then your sofa or sectional sits upon the rug. So it goes underneath your legs of the front of the sofa.
Okay.
That looks really nice. I know you have this round rug up here and some people are like, really? Huh? I think it's fun.
Yeah, I think it is fun.
I think a round rug is great in a living room. I also like it in a kid's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
circle
playful.
time.
It's that curvy, adds to the curvy aesthetic that's so in right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you're right. You definitely could have a big 8x10 rug that all of the furniture sits on top of.
Or even bigger.
Yeah, or even bigger.
Yeah. Like in this
Area
space
rug.
here, there next to the sectional, like all the way down, you see like a rectangle. That was, I think, like a sidebar or something, but there's a set of stairs that go up right there. So you're basically walking down a little bit of wood floor and then a large area rug.
Okay.
And you
in
could make that
diagram.
rug smaller, but I liked that size in that space.
Okay, so these are diagrams from your design.
Yeah.
That you've done in real spaces.
It looks like someone colored them. They look really pretty.
Well, I took your CAD drawings and
You made them pretty. They're very artistic.
Yeah.
I love them. They look so good.
Yeah. But I think that the commonality, whether you have a circular or a rectangular rug, is that if you do have a smaller rug, it'll be fine to have a smaller area rug in a smaller space because just the front legs of everything can just be touching the rug, right? Essentially. Or a lot, like the main pieces, like the chairs, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have the sofa on the rug.
Yeah.
But if you can't have a extra large rug and the sofa completely sit on it, it's okay to have it halfway on. I think that's fine. Just have the front legs on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is out there as far as...
Did you watercolor these?
I did.
Oh my goodness. We need to frame them
Oh.
and put them up.
Just
So
like as
fun.
diagrams down the
Yeah.
hall. The biggest thing, I think a lot of people in their living room just put a small rug under the coffee table, and rugs are really meant to bring the room together. So the goal is to either have all the main pieces of furniture squarely on top of the rug, or at least the feet are touching the rug. Not every piece
On
of
it.
furniture
Kinda on it.
on a
Yes.
corner of the rug. And if you're watching, there's some diagrams to help. If you don't have time now, there'll be a supporting blog
Yes.
that you can reference.
So not a postage stamp.
Not
under
a
your
postage
coffee table.
stamp under
Yeah.
your coffee table. Bring that room together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's look at some examples of how you would apply the same idea with dining room. So whether it's a round rug or a square rug, I wanted to include both shapes because if you have a round dining table, you could,
Yeah.
do
Do a round rug.
a round rug, or you could do could you do a square rug if you have a round dining table?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's big enough. And
Right.
it depends on the size of your table to the rug.
Right.
One thing for dining that is key is to make sure all of the legs on the chairs or the bench are on the rug, even when you move them away from the table. So
Okay.
when you're sitting at the table, you don't want the back legs to be off of the rug. So you need to have a big enough rug that everything's on the rug when you pull the chair away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's pretty pretty easy to follow.
Sure.
So whether you have a dining bench, like in the example on the
Mm-hmm.
right, or you have just all chairs, you want to make sure that when it's pulled back, it's still on the rug. So I think dining sounds like it's a really good place for a bigger rug.
Yes.
If you're going to invest, like what room to invest in the bigger rug, I think dining would
room.
be the answer.
Yeah.
And here it looks like on the right hand side, you don't have the servers on the rug.
So in this particular room, those are large cabinets.
Okay.
And in between the cabinets is this beautiful piece of art that we spec'd for that space.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay. And so those can sit off of the rug.
I think so.
But I've also seen you put part of the
Sure.
rug underneath
Yep.
those cabinets if you need more walk room space or it's a
Exactly,
smaller
enough
area.
clearance. It depends
Yeah.
on the room.
Right.
Like in that situation you just spoke of, it moved you right into the kitchen. So you needed that walk space. You know,
Okay.
this could be an enclosed room.
Right.
So it just depends.
On your space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could either have, the rug touching every piece of furniture in a dining room theoretically, or, just be under the main dining piece.
Yep. As long as when you pull the chair away or the bench away, it's still on the rug.
That's all that matters. What about bedrooms? I feel like bedrooms are difficult because they're set up in so many different ways.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm glad you drew them or you put it this way. You could do a wall-to-wall size rug in a bedroom if it works out that way, like the one on the right there. Or you could do a smaller version and just bring it up closer to the nightstands. Or if it's even bigger, you could have the front of the legs of the nightstand on the rug. Now, I tend to like it further down. So kind of maybe halfway in the example on the left.
Okay.
Like halfway down to, where the bed is.
Right. And both of
Yeah.
those are pretty like 8x11 potentially sized rugs, depending on the size.
The one
right
that's
one
wall to wall
yeah.
would be bigger.
Yeah.
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 A lot bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
What is crazy, I don't know if you have a slide of this, is when the rug goes the same direction as the bed, which makes me crazy.
Okay. So you don't want the bed and the rug to be parallel. Like,
Just same direction.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
please don't do that.
so put the rug horizontal and your
Yeah.
bed vertical.
Yeah.
Like a T.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me. That's my own personal thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I included more rug examples for the bedroom because it is just a difficult space to figure out with all the furniture. So let's go to the next slide because I think that is really telling. Like in a kid's bedroom, for
Yes.
example, like if you have two twins.
Yeah, I would just put them like the picture shows here. This was an interesting space because it was like the entrance, like the bottom floor entrance that was turned into a kid's space, a bedroom. And that long on the right, that's actually a rug, an entrance rug.
Oh.
And that's a small wall that divides the kid's bedroom to the
Okay.
entrance. So so we're trying to define that space a little bit more. So we did an oversized rug in the kids area. Yeah,
Cool.
that's what we did there.
Well, what about, an office?
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So this one, we had a smaller rug that we liked the color in. And so we took just like a solid rug and then layered a solid rug that was larger that we then layered the smaller rug on top of. And it turned out really well. It added quite a lot of dimension to that space.
So you can layer rugs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. And in this instance, you just because it looks like there's an office with a desk area and a seating area, and you would prioritize the rug under the seating area if there's both.
I mean, you could put it under the desk, but the way this room was laid out, there was other doors and other hallways to this space. So it didn't make sense to put one where that desk is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If
But
that
you
were an
could-
actual wall back there, then sure.
Right. You could put a rug under a desk if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So production's telling me you have a surprise for me.
Oh, yeah. So, since we're talking about rugs, a friend of mine gave me these, and I just think they are the cutest things. And
This is really a
look
surprise.
how cute these are.
What? Oh my gosh, they're cup holders.
Well, they're okay. So they come in different patterns. Look at this. Look how cute.
they
Can you
look
see
like
that?
nice Persian rugs.
Yeah, exactly.
With the tassels.
So yeah, anyway, they're little coasters.
Mhm.
So you and your, all of your different cute little cups there that you use needs its own little cute coaster, little rug, or you can use it as a mouse pad.
Gosh.
So
That's
Yeah.
so true.
anyway, so you can pick one and then I'll put one on my side too. Aren't they cute?
They're adorable.
It's kind of like I want to shrink myself and walk across one of these rugs.
That is what it looks like. I just
they
layered
cute?
the rug
Yeah.
under my teacup plate.
And I just layered
it's-
mine. Look how sweet.
Well, I never want to stain nice surfaces. But
No.
so when you are layering rugs though, like you want to, how do you do that? Like when you're choosing patterns, is there any rule that you should be
I
paying
mean, you
attention to?
can mix patterns, but
Yeah.
I typically like to do maybe a solid,
Mm-hmm.
as the foundation, the larger rug, and then maybe the pattern on the top. That's just me though. You could do vice versa. Also, if you have like a jute, a natural fiber rug,
Okay.
like a seagrass or something like
You
that.
have an example of
Huh?
a jute.
Oh, yeah. This one here. This is a jute. This has a nice little texture. Now, this has quite a bit of pattern for this
Yeah.
jute. I love this rug. But anyway, maybe a solid jute.
Yeah.
And then you could put, say, a faux cowhide over top of that. And it just
Right.
creates dimension and it creates an interest in the room.
And do you always want to put the rug that's on top layered at an angle, or can you do square?
I mean, you could square it all up. I tend to like a little bit of flair, a little angle on it. So I typically put it at an angle.
I feel like that is a little bit more advanced, but it's really cool to know that you can do that. Especially, I really like the idea of saving money by choosing like maybe a more inexpensive, larger rug, and then the really nice rug on top is nicer.
Well, let's say, okay,
Smaller.
I'll give an example of just for utilitarian purposes. So say you have a jute or seagrass rug and you
Yeah.
spill something all over it and you can't clean it, but you're
Yeah.
like, I love that rug. I don't want to get rid of it. You can layer another smaller rug over top of it. So just cover up the mess.
That is such a good idea.
Hopefully it's more in the center, but
I love
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Just a
Well,
thought.
that is so crafty.
every situation is different.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned a couple times that you hose off your rug in your driveway. And I just want to know, like, is
Yes.
that how you're supposed to clean a rug, or how?
That's how I clean it. I'm not going to send it off to be cleaned. Somebody
Yeah.
else can do that. But wow, I called to get a price on cleaning this Ushak rug that I had, and no way. So I just took it out to my driveway and put some, I think it was like Ecos or, some sort of cleaner, like fabric cleaner.
Yeah.
Laundry detergent, sorry.
Yeah.
A real mild one. And I put it on there. I scrubbed it down. I used a broom. I hosed it, got all the soap out, and I didn't have anything to like scrape all the excess water and everything off. So you guys are going to think I'm nuts. I used a shovel because it had a hard edge on it. And so I literally scraped it. I asked my neighbors, I was like, did you ever see me doing that? And they said they did. It's so funny.
That would be.
I'm sorry, neighbors. Thank you for putting up with me.
Entertaining. Do you have
Yeah.
any photos of you doing that?
I don't think so. Maybe Google Earth has some. I don't. Oh,
Oh my gosh. It looks like our producer.
yeah, I don't think that's me. It's not a shovel like that. This is like a snow shovel.
Where did you get that photo?
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness gracious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, but it was kind of like that, just a different type of shovel.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I had eaten a lot of spinach, so I was, super muscular there.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Well,
me.
I mean, I'm just picturing you and I think like hard labor. Like, I don't think
it was very difficult as far as like, yeah, sure. It was like a workout. It was like that. That's basically what it is. Just, a shovel for snow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
A snow shovel, which makes more
Can that shovel?
spot.
Yeah.
You're not like scooping.
Well, you know how a snow shovel, they're usually pretty wide and they have that sharp edge. It's not sharp. It's, I guess, sort of sharp, but
Yeah.
it just pushed and scraped the water out and it worked. And then I just laid it. A lot of people like to put it on a trampoline if you have a trampoline because of the airflow. Me, I think I just put some tables out there and laid it on it and it dried. It took about a week.
Well, I feel like that's how people traditionally clean rugs. And, the sun is disinfecting. It's a great way to dry things. So, hey, I probably wouldn't do that with like a really high end.
I mean, when you're talking about Sotheby's or Christie's auction house of $33 million, maybe
you might
call in the professionals on that.
Yeah, you pay the price for the rug cleaning. But yeah,
I didn't lose any color out of the rug. I mean, it was old. It's an old rug. I found it at like a junk store and I was like, I am buying that rug, but it had a smell to it. So I'm like, I am washing this rug. So I did. And it was fine. It's beautiful now.
Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, when I heard that you were were cleaning your rug in your driveway with a hose, I just needed to get a visual of that. Yeah. And so we prompted AI because it's gotten pretty advanced. And at first it gave just like a jolly lady, like,
do you have that picture?
Water off her rug. No, I didn't include. I mean, somewhere. Maybe we'll include it later. But then I prompted it and I said, more hard labor look. So to them, that's what they came
hard
up labor.
With. I love AI.
Like. Yeah.
Or things like this. It's great. Oh my goodness.
Just the facial expression is.
I think my hair was actually pulled back like that. I think it was hot out. Yeah, definitely a lot of hard labor.
Yeah. There's many ways, it sounds like, to maintain and clean. There's also spot cleaning as an option.
Yeah, you can do that.
But yeah, for those larger rugs, I've taken, like I mentioned, just like a carpet cleaner that looks like a vacuum and cleaned it that way. I also, have hosed off a rug because of, pet issues potentially.
Sure. I think the best thing to do,
like if you have to do,
like if you have a pet goes on your rug, you should really just try to get it up as quick as possible and just blot it with a paper towel and then a little bit of, very, dish soap or just some sort of, not a harsh chemical on it.
Yeah.
And just pat it. You don't want to swirl. You don't want to like move that around. Yeah. If you're just spot cleaning it, because then you'll see those patterns. Eventually it'll pop back up. But still, just spot clean and tap. Yeah.
The situation I was in, it was just, it needed a hose.
You needed to hose the whole thing.
And then I sucked the water out with the Bissell, carpet cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so whatever works.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And it wasn't like the highest end rug ever. But yeah, on that note, it's been really interesting to talk about rugs and how to shop for them and where to put them in your house and what to do if they get messy and how to layer them. So it's been, hopefully, entertaining.
Yeah. Hopefully we've,
given some good information that people can use.
How to simulate your weekend chores using AI.
Yeah.
How to AI clean your rugs. But yeah, it's been fun to hang out. We will always have the full story and more information on our blog to go with our episodes. So if you want to see all the photos and whatnot, go check out the blog story, which will be linked in the show notes. And if you haven't already subscribed, do so, because
Yes, please subscribe.
then you will know when more helpful tips come out.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right.
Oh, and follow us on socials if you want some fun little tidbits.
And if you have questions or comments, please leave them
Yep.
below.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, see you guys later.
Bye, everyone.